Hey guys, this is Jim from Bronzeville Comics. I was out and about on Saturday morning and I picked up a pile of comics. What else is new? Hey comic book community, this is Jim from Bronzeville Comics and I have another video coming up. We're going to go through some comics that I picked up today. It's getting to the point in time where garage sales are kind of winding down. Here in the Northeast, as the weather's getting a little bit colder, so there are fewer opportunities to go out and find comics. And garage sales are great because usually you have the potential to get some great stuff. I went to New Jersey this morning and I made a mistake that I should have known better. It wasn't a huge mistake, but I had seen a listing last night that I hadn't seen previously for a garage sale in New Jersey, and it said comic books. I said, man, what the heck? Because there was another listing on Craigslist for a town nearby a little bit later. I said, you know, let me kind of do the rounds there. So I went to this first place, and I got there. I didn't get there early because the George Washington Bridge traffic was worse than it usually is. And I got there, and there were 2 copies of a Conan the Barbarian Treasury edition from the 1970s, and that was it. And I had seen another guy out there just before me. He looked at them, was kind of flipping through one, and he just shook his head and moved on, as did I. So there's nothing to get there. But I did go to a place in a kind of neighboring town that was a collectibles store. Had comic books, baseball cards, trains, Hess trucks, a whole bunch of just kind of random stuff. And so the comics they were priced got a pretty good deal, and these are nice copies. Iron Man 100 I picked up. That's a book I had copies of before. 118, which is the first appearance of James Rhodes, who later becomes War Machine. He's a very brief appearance, essentially as a technician in a hangar. Then I got Captain Marvel 57, classic Captain Marvel Thor battle. This is a book I picked up several times. Incredible Hulk 228, the first appearance of Moonstone. And these are all pretty nice copies. They look pretty sharp. I didn't see any major wear. A couple of Daredevils, 159 and 160. I got these more for the PC. I'm trying to maybe fill in my Daredevil run. These are early Frank Miller, both with Bullseye on the cover. And then just an ASM book that looked to be in reasonably high grade, Black Suit era. A Silver Age Superboy book with a Neil Adams cover. Grabbed that. This Power Man and Iron Fist, their first team up, issue number 50, when they got together. This issue of Showcase with Cade Carson. It's not his first appearance. His first appearance is actually in Brave and the Bold, but this is an early Silver Age book, and I picked up some Showcase today. Then I picked up, these are kind of run fillers. This I picked up as a mini spec. This book has speculative value because it includes the first Dungeons and Dragons in comics. And since this was and it's actually in pretty decent shape for a book that was not in a bag. But it has, and this is, I think, the 3rd copy of this I picked up. It has an advertisement, which is the first Dungeons and Dragons in comics. A little bit of a speculation there. It hasn't really taken off. Picked up a couple of 100 era Green Lantern books that are run fillers, and then a whole bunch of Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. Just had been checking my CLZ app to see which issues they had that I did not. And I just picked up a bunch of these. A lot of these from the Mike Grell era. This one is not, some of them are in better shape than others. But these are, I'm trying to fill in this Legion run. I'm getting pretty close. I'm not exactly sure which issues I still need, but and by the way here, I've separated the stuff that I picked up over the last several months into different piles. Like stuff I have to get pressed and cleaned and graded and potentially set off. Other stuff that's graded and maybe if it's on high enough grade, get that sent off to be graded if I think it's a potential 9.6 or 9.8. So after that, I was within 10 minutes of the Meadowlands and the flea market there. I'd been there the week before. Wasn't a lot of new product out there. I just picked up, these were, a couple dollars. This is a 1994 DC book, 93, these videos that I've been doing recently. Robin 1, first appearance of the second Bloodsport. Nothing huge there. I actually had an experience. There was one vendor who had, amongst other things, I think about 5 long boxes of comics and then some other piles of comics loose. So I went through one of the piles. The piles I went through, they were all from within the last 10 or 15 years. Marvel and DC, mostly Marvel. But I didn't really find anything that jumped out at me. This is a Supergirl card in it. I don't know if that... trading card. But nothing really, a couple of issues that I pulled out, like an Amazing Spider-Man and like a Thanos book or the #1 of a miniseries. But nothing was in bags. So then there was, most of the boxes had lids on them. There were also some, I'm going to say, 70s, 80s era humor books, like Harvey, Casper the Ghost kind of stuff. And I didn't really pay that close attention to exactly what it was. But the guy's like, oh, we got to get the comics in the truck. The rain's coming. I'm looking. There's barely a cloud in the sky. There was a forecast for rain, and it did rain later in the day, but much later, like 3 hours later. So I started to look through. So on this the one box that didn't have a lid, there were 2 piles of comics. Piles like about this big. Unbagged. So I started going through them, and then I put them onto the top of another box that had a lid on it. Went through that, put that here. Then the box was packed with unbagged books. And I was trying to figure out what was the best way to kind of get in to look at these books. He goes, you know what? You're bending the books. The comic books aren't for sale. Now, I am pretty careful when it comes to handling comic books. And especially when I'm going to a vendor, I'm not going roughshod through them. I understand that, and I have the respect for whoever's trying to sell them, that if I'm not going to buy them, somebody else will. And I took these piles and I carefully placed them. But he's like, no, the comic books aren't for sale. I'm like, fine. And I left. That was about it at the Meadowlands. So then I went to Northern Westchester. Oh Yeah Comics was having a sale with Streetside Anthony. He was there out on the street, so I said, what the heck, let me go there. The stuff that he had was 20% off, and I've been there a few times, and he usually has a pretty good back stock, so I was doing some Earth 2 stuff. I picked up 2 copies that I believe are in pretty nice shape of All-Star Comics from the 70s. These, I'm pretty sure, are upgrades over what's in my personal collection. I know this one for sure is a book that I had bought off the rack as a kid and is in bad shape. It's in pretty rough shape. So those 2. And then I picked up this showcase that I read the reprint of this, I think, somewhere in a Super Spectacular or something. But, it's got Psycho Pirate, Hourman, Dr. Fate. This is a pretty cool showcase book, and I am all about the Justice Society. And then I picked up some stuff that Anthony had. So I picked up a couple of Department of Truth books. I got on this late, so I've been slowly filling in a couple issues at a time, that run. Then I bought, I've seen he's had this forever, and he gave me a nice deal on it. I finally caved in and bought it. It's Adventure Comics, was it $267. It's the second appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. The interior is really nice. And this is the era where Adventure Comics had 3 stories. It had a Superboy story. This one includes the Legion. It also had Aquaman and Green Arrow. So 3 very short stories in one book. The cover has some wear, especially on the spine, but the interior is nice. If nothing else, this is a good holder copy to keep in the PC if I do come across something that's in better shape. But again, this is a book from the 1950s, I believe. I think it's still the 50s, like the 58, I think. So, you know, you don't come across these every day. So I figured I'd get that. So that was my pickup today. I also had gotten some mail this week of books that I have been trying to pick up to flip. Might not flip this one. This one is a beautiful copy of All-Star Squadron 25. I have a number of copies of this, but this is a newsstand copy. And this is high grade. There's nothing color breaking on the spine, everything sharp. This is a 9/8 contender. And this is the first appearance of Infinity Incorporated, including Jane, Obsidian, Nucleon, who is Atom Smasher. We'll see him in Black Adam, Brainwave Jr., the Silver Scarab, Fury, and Northwind. So this is and Jerry Ordway art. I have a signed copy that I got at the comic book crawl with 3 Men in the Basement up at Coffee and Comics, or Comics and Coffee? Comics and Coffee. I saw this book. This was like $25 or something like that. Very, very good buy. I got this nice copy of Iron Fist #1. This is really sharp. This is potential. Definite. I think it's a definite 9 point something. I think it's like a 9.2, 9.4 with a press. I think the only major thing is, you know, it's not wrapped well, but that's not really a problem. And then I always pick up. I've been picking up these books like crazy. Justice League 30 and 31, second cameo and first full appearance of Jessica Cruz. I am very bullish on that character. I've been picking up a number of these. See which ones are in high enough grade to submit. And that's the haul for today. Now, just before I recorded this video, when I checked, we're at 748 subscribers. So we will probably, with this video, hit the 750 subscriber, and we do have the giveaway here. This newsstand copy of Superman, the Man of Steel, #18, the first appearance of Doomsday. Is it me, or does he look like Ambush Bug? It doesn't look like Doomsday, obviously, but, you know, that more to be revealed inside. And we're going to give that away with 750. We're going to do a special video for that. So I'm going to say that this will be the last video that will be in contention for the giveaway. So I'm going to take all the videos from October 15th to this one. So that's about 4 weeks worth of videos. The one, when we do the drawing, that has the fewest number of comments will be the one that we'll randomly select a comment from. So if there's one of the videos only has one comment, as long as that person's subscribed to the channel, you have to be subscribed to win, that's your winner. So we're going to give this away, and then we'll do something a little bit bigger as we move toward our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. But that's the 750. We're almost there. Guys, thanks for support of the channel. I see people out like at these places now, these sales that say hello, that recognize me from the videos. That's always appreciated. It is a little disconcerting because, you know, I'm not a famous person, but I guess in certain circles, sometimes I am. I actually, at New York Comic Con, I saw somebody come up to Erod who was nervous to talk to him, like he was talking to a celebrity. But we're all part of the same community. It's great. Just come up and say hello. If you like the videos, just let me know. And that's always appreciated. Again, on this, subscribe, like, comment, you know the deal. Let me know what you thought of these pickups, if there's anything that really is kind of interesting there. And we're gonna, I think, I have a collection that I haven't yet displayed on this channel. So that's gonna be the next video. That's gonna be a really fun one to look through. So that will probably drop on Tuesday. And in the meantime, I think I might do something Monday night for the 750 subscriber giveaway, depending on how time breaks. And that's it for today. So guys, let me know what you thought of the pickups today. And until next time, enjoy your comics.